everybody wants to retire, right? I mean, it's the one financial goal that everyone in the world shares. But our guest today, Garrett Gunderson, says that maybe that is not what we should all be aiming for. He argues that retirement is actually a terrible idea. So Garrett is a New York Times bestselling financial author. He's a financial comedian with a special on Amazon. And Garrett, I'm excited to hear your thoughts on why retirement is such a terrible idea and what we should all be doing instead.
When retirement was invented, it was a good idea. People were using their physical body for labor, and it was 7 days a week, and people were dying, and yeah, retirement be nice to enjoy life. But now it's in people's minds where they're willing to sacrifice their life for that one day someday. And when they get to retirement, it doesn't usually end up a dream. It ends up like a ream. They get there and they're like, oh, now if interest rates change, my income changes. If taxes go up, the amount I can spend goes down. If inflation's higher than I expected, they're no longer in charge of the outcome of their income. And what I think sucks the most is that they miss out on memories along the way. So what if you just created a life you didn't want to retire from? What if you designed the life that you love? And what if you enjoyed the process along the way? I feel like the biggest win is when we find work that we enjoy, that's fulfilling, and instead of thinking of retirement, think financial independence. Financial independence is having enough cash flow from assets to cover your expenses. When you're in that situation and you're still actively working, you can buy more assets with all your active income, since your assets are the ones that are actually producing the lifestyle of your income, right? Like my buddy Justin Donald has in Lifestyle Investors. So here's the deal. Retirement, if you're thinking about it, you're probably in the wrong career. And if you're financially independent at an early age, you can swing for the fences in your vision and still live a life of purpose and still be up to something. And take those trips that you want to take in retirement in shorter bursts along the way. Tim Ferriss wrote about that in the 4-Hour Work Week, another friend of mine. So these are the notions, but if you're like my dad and you're a coal miner, retirement's a damn good idea, but retirement, that's something they do to a cow behind the barn. It's when they retire a plane, that's not good news. It means it's not useful anymore. I was like saying, hey, what do we do with dad now that he's retired? I guess we put him in the spare room next to the bed that nobody uses. I mean, I just think it's an old idea that still has roots. And so people are living longer now too. So they think they're going to work for 30 years than this movement, like the FIRE movement. The one good thing about that movement is it gets people out of consumerism. The bad thing is they're now retired at 50 years old, living like misers, just finding ways not to spend money. Is that really a life? Be a value creator, be a consummate value creator, and create value until the day that you die in a way that's on your terms and the life that you want. I just hate this notion of, oh, I don't like this job, I don't like what I'm doing, but it's got good benefits and it's got a retirement plan. Guess what? Retirement plans suck. Retirement plans, people have millions of dollars in retirement plans and they live like paupers because it's all taxable on the back end unless it's a Roth. And that's why I like that you're teaching real estate, because real estate has 3 dimensions to it. You can cash flow it, you can get appreciation, and you get tax advantage. If you're spending 750 hours a year on it, you become a real estate professional for tax purposes. What an amazing loophole. And by the way, if you still have those assets in your later years, you still have all these write-offs. You still have all this opportunity. And if inflation exists, your rents go up. It's just a totally different model. I hate the notion of these gurus that say, pay off your home and fund a retirement plan, because now you don't have a mortgage, great, but now you have a plan that you don't control. And now you're going to go live your life the best when you don't know when you're going to die and whether you're going to run out of money. You've probably heard about the 4% rule. If you have a variable account, don't take more than 4% because it might destroy that account. Okay, you have $1 million. You live off $40,000 a year. That sucks. Retirement is a terrible notion built upon people that want your assets so they can get a fee off of it. Become an investor. Become a person that loves their life, and then design that so that for 30 years from now, you're still doing the things you do now because you enjoyed that 30 years, not sacrificed.
Oh man, there's so much you said there that I love and I want to dig into. Starting with the fact that, so I've interviewed dozens, probably hundreds of people at this point who have reached financial independence and retired early with real estate, and every single one of them went back to work. Which, when I tell people that, their first reaction is to get bummed out about it. They're like, "Oh man, well then, why am I scrimping and saving money, to try to reach financial independence at a young age?" And my reaction to them is, no. You're getting that wrong. You're taking the wrong lesson away from that. The right lesson is that you don't need to be financially independent to go live your ideal lifestyle. You can go do that now before you're financially independent, because you're still going to have active income anyway on the back end of that. You're going to go back to work anyway. So go switch to your dream work now. Start living your ideal lifestyle, your lifestyle design. Start living that life now, and just calculate out, what does your dream work pay? And then, if it pays a little bit less than what you want to live on, then okay, you have a bridge or a gap that you need to bridge with some passive income from investments. Fine, you can figure out how much you need to invest at what return, whatever. But that's a matter of months or maybe a couple of years of bridging that gap, as opposed to spending decades trying to reach financial independence and retiring. So anyway, went off on my own little tangent there, but I love everything you just said. Garrett, in 30 seconds or less, how do you help people, and how can people connect with you if they want to take you up on that help?
Yeah, if you want to, like, retirement is planned bankruptcy. You're going to basically take this money and that you built with your family and just watch it diminish. Get the book What Would the Rockefellers Do by just hitting me up on Instagram, Garrett B. Gunderson. I'll send the audio to you. You can listen to the audio book for free, and it's a completely radically different shift on how you create generational wealth without entitlement, and then even ways to finance your real estate without having to use a bank. So I think that your listeners would love that book if they haven't already listened to it or have it. It's one of my most popular ones. So
awesome. Well, Garrett, thank you so much for joining us today. And guys, if you enjoy these quick hit conversations that we have, please rate and review the show. Makes a world of difference to us. And on that note, we will catch you on the flip side. Want the cash flow, appreciation, and tax benefits of real estate without becoming a landlord? You've heard of REITs and real estate crowdfunding, but you probably don't know much about 5 other ways to invest passively in real estate. So we put together a free video course for you to show you how to consistently earn 15% plus returns from 5 lesser known hands-off ways to invest in real estate. And even more importantly, we'll keep risk front and center in that whole discussion, because really, what's the point of investing for high returns if you also take on high risk, right? So visit sparkrental.com/free to take our free course. Each video is snackable at 10 to 15 minutes long, and the entire course takes less time than watching a movie. Looking forward to chatting with you from within the course.